Hello, friends. Good morning. How are you? We're here together on a new day, a new week, and I'm thinking about possibility. And I know we do sometimes talk about this, especially on Mondays, but I find that, you know, in the hubbub, in the rush of what Monday might be for me, for you, it can be easier to stay with what we think should be happening, or something that we just like expect to happen, instead of this really wide view that includes being open to what's possible, open to kind of what unfolds. And I'm not saying like, oh, you should sit there and see what happens. It's not a opting out of action, but it is a form of not knowing, right? Not knowing what the day will bring in this kind of like open, possible way. And so we're just going to kind of hold that together in our meditation. Maybe there's a little sense of, or a question of, what's possible here in these few minutes together. Is it possible that you'll find quiet or calm? Maybe your mind, it's possible it'll feel busy the whole time, or quiet down. Just being open in these next few minutes together to whatever might arise. And maybe we can take a little bit of that into the day. So if you haven't set yourself up for meditation, please do. Let's find that comfortable, intentional posture for our time together. Sitting tall if you're seated. Maybe bringing the shoulders down away from the ears, making some space. Letting the scalp and jaw relax. Maybe closing the eyes if that feels good. And just really feeling yourself arrive here, to right where you are. Maybe taking in how your body feels in this posture. Starting to notice how the breath feels. Maybe it feels like this smooth rhythm and flow of the inhale and exhale. Maybe it feels a little more deep or a little more shallow. Maybe there's something that feels a little constricted, not quite free flowing. And whatever you find in this breath, not judging, not changing, but noticing. And perhaps in the noticing there's some shifting, there's some possibility for something else. We're going to stay here with the breath for the next couple of minutes together. Just resting our attention in the flow, allowing our distractions to arise as they will, and returning to the breath whenever you realize you're somewhere else. Just gently returning. sometimes when we find the thing we expect to find, maybe even in our meditation, like, oh, I'm very distracted today. I knew I would be. What is it to kind of let go of that? I knew that I would be. I knew that this would happen. And maybe you did, and you were right. But sometimes that can really close us off to the possibility of something different. And so just in a remaining bit of quiet together, just staying in that place of possibility for something you don't expect. Maybe a little more quiet, maybe a little more rest for the mind. Maybe before our time ends today, we can take a little time to check in, starting with the body. How does your body feel today? Being open to whatever arises, not knowing, maybe. But really seeing how your body feels. And when you're ready, moving on to your mind. How does your mind feel today? And finally, how does your heart feel? No judgment on anything that might be here. But again, just noticing. And finally, we've kind of checked in with the pieces and parts. But how do you feel just wholly you? All the parts, all the pieces, all the feelings. When you're feeling ready, let's move into our 3 slow, deep breaths to close. Taking your time with each one to really feel just slow, steady inhale and exhale. And then as you're ready, as those breaths have fallen away, starting to come into the space you're in, opening your eyes if they were closed, maybe offering yourself some stretches before moving into what's next in your day. Thank you so much for being here, spending a little time with possibility. I hope that maybe you can find that space in the day too. As always, I hope you'll join me for the daily meditations if you aren't already. I hope it's a good day, friends. Take care.